The Barnes Foundation is a treasure chest. There's so many things and so many different artists here that are spectacular. People come from all over the world. I've had people actually come from Argentina, and you always get a lot of French people, a lot of Brits and Germans as well, in addition to people from all over the United States. Picasso had 7 significant women in his life, and what was important about these women is they influenced his art. And when he was in love with them, he painted them one particular way, typically with curvilinear lines. This is a generalization. And then when he was out of love with them and he was debasing them, that's when he got into his Cubist and Surrealism period, where he had very sharp lines. In 1933, Matisse supervised the hanging of the paintings, and he had a minor heart attack. And Dr. Barnes, whom you know was a doctor, a medical doctor, he gave him a shot of whiskey, and sure enough, Matisse lived for another 25 years. So that's kind of the folklore behind the painting.
Both Modigliani and Picasso were heavily influenced by African art and sculpture pieces. And in one of the galleries here, we have a whole shelf of African pieces and shows the different face and facial expressions. And surrounding them, we have 2 paintings by Modigliani. And he takes the faces of the African art pieces and the matted down hair, the elongated neck, the flattened nose, and the eyes, and so forth. And he uses those in his pieces, and they turn out to be very stoic faces. It show no emotion. What's the door latch doing above the 2 pieces? Well, nobody really understands on the tour, so we try to explain it to them. And you ask yourself, well, what does a door latch do? Well, a door latch opens and it closes. So it becomes a metaphor for the opened hands of the one girl and the closed hands, tightly closed hands of the other woman in the painting. So again, Barnes must have spent many weightless hours organizing these types of metalwork and wall ensembles.
I always say on my tours, I do not leave this room without talking about the Van Gogh painting of the Postman, Joseph Rouland. To me, it's such a spectacular painting. Van Gogh did not have many friends in his lifetime. This Postman was one of his friends. What I love about it is that Barnes hung it at a level that his eyes are looking straight into my eyes. And I think his eyes show such compassion and humanity. When I'm not at the Barnes for a while, I almost feel like I'm missing a friend.
People come in here and they take a look at the arboretums. Good Lord, look at all this. And this tree is one of our stars. It has this beautiful bark. Mrs. Barnes liked texture in her garden. So she went for a lot for trees that had shedding bark. This is a Chinese Kusa dogwood. And in the spring, it blooms the first week of June, and you get a white waterfall of bloom. And then in the fall, when the red fruit comes out, you get a red waterfall. Dr. Barnes was supposedly driving down a road in Brittany, saw this in a farmer's yard, and with the dome top, immediately thought of the dome theme in the main gallery. The story goes, he goes up to the farmer and says, "I want to buy your well." Well, they dickered back and forth, and eventually Dr. Barnes said he would buy him an electric water pump. Good pragmatic French farmer, he took the water pump and we have the well.